I'm 81 years old, and I don't have much time left to say what I should have said years ago. I spent 4 decades chasing success, and in the process, I lost the people who mattered most to me. I don't say this for pity. I say it because silence has weighed on me heavier than any failure ever did. When you reach my age, you start measuring life differently. Not in achievements, not in promotions, not in the size of the house or the car you drove. You measure it in faces, in voices, in the warmth of hands you held or didn't hold. And when those hands are gone, when those voices fade, you realize too late what you traded away. I was in my late 20s when I first believed that success was the only way to prove myself. I had grown up poor, watching my father struggle to keep food on the table. He was a quiet man, proud in his own way, but I saw how the world dismissed him. I swore I wouldn't be dismissed. I wanted respect. I wanted to be somebody. So I worked. I worked harder than anyone around me. Long hours, late nights, weekends. I told myself it was temporary, that once I made it, I'd slow down. I told my wife the same thing. She believed me at first. She wanted to believe me. I remember the smell of coffee in the kitchen when I left before sunrise. My wife would pack me a lunch, though I rarely ate it. I'd come home after dark, sometimes after the children were already asleep. I'd kiss their foreheads while they dreamed, convincing myself that counted as being present. It didn't feel wrong at the time. Everyone around me was doing the same. Men in suits, briefcases in hand, chasing promotions, chasing recognition. We thought we were building something noble. We thought sacrifice was part of the deal. But sacrifice has a way of multiplying. One missed dinner becomes 10. One forgotten birthday becomes a pattern. One "I'll be home soon" becomes a lie you repeat so often you stop hearing yourself say it. I remember my daughter's school play. She was 8. She had a small role, just a few lines. I promised I'd be there. That afternoon, a client called with an urgent matter. I told myself it was unavoidable. I told myself she'd understand. She didn't. When I got home, she was already in bed. My wife told me she had looked for me in the audience, scanning the rows, waiting. She had memorized her lines perfectly, but her eyes kept drifting to the empty seat where I should have been. I brushed it off. I told myself there would be other plays, other chances. But children don't wait. Childhood doesn't pause until you're ready. The years blurred. Promotions came, raises came. I bought a bigger house, a nicer car. People shook my hand, congratulated me. I smiled, but inside I felt hollow. I didn't admit it then. I couldn't. My son grew quiet around me. He stopped asking if I'd play catch. He stopped showing me his drawings. He learned, slowly, that I wasn't available. And when a child learns that, they stop reaching out. I thought I was doing it for them. That's the cruelest part. I thought the long hours, the endless meetings, the constant striving, it was all for their future. But what future is worth it if they grow up without you? The turning point came later, much later. My wife fell ill. It wasn't sudden, but it was relentless. I sat by her hospital bed, listening to the machines, watching her fade. And I realized then, in that sterile room, that I had spent more time in boardrooms than in her presence. She didn't say much. She never was one to complain, but I saw it in her eyes, the distance, the years we had lost. I wanted to tell her I was sorry. I wanted to promise her I'd change. But you can't promise change to someone who is leaving. She died at 67. I was 72. And in that silence, in that empty house, I finally understood the cost. My children visit sometimes, not often. They have their own lives now. I don't blame them. I wasn't there when they needed me, so why should they be here now? I sit in this chair most days, looking at photographs, smiling faces frozen in time. Birthdays, holidays, moments I barely remember because I wasn't really there. I was thinking about work, about deadlines, about the next step up the ladder. The ladder led nowhere. I don't tell you this to lecture. I don't have the right to lecture. I tell you because I wish someone had told me when I was young that success is not the same as presence. That respect from strangers is worth nothing compared to love from your family. If you're listening and you're younger than me, maybe you'll hear it differently. Maybe you'll pause before you say, "I'll be home late." Maybe you'll think twice before you miss that school play, that dinner, that quiet evening. I can't fix what I lost. My wife is gone. My children grew up without me. The years I thought I was buying with success were stolen by it instead. Now, at 81, I live with the weight of that truth. It doesn't crush me anymore, it just sits with me, like an old companion. Regret doesn't scream. It whispers, it reminds you, gently, of what you can't change. I don't know how much longer I'll be here. My health isn't strong. My days are quiet. But before I go, I wanted to say this out loud. I spent 40 years chasing success. It cost me my family. If this meant something to you, hold it close. Not for me, for yourself. And if you're willing, share your thoughts. Sometimes words are all we leave behind.